for a walk in the woods is going to cause a fire, I can understand why people think that that's ridiculous. But the reality is, it's not that you might cause a fire. It's that if you're out there walking in the woods and you break your leg, we're not going to come and get you, because we have emergency responders that are out focused on a fire that is threatening the lives of New Brunswickers. And if you take your boat out fishing in a pond in Crown Land and you capsize, we're not going to be able to come and help you out, because our first responders are focused on an immediate and serious threat to our province. And so it's the possibility of diverting emergency resources away from where they are really needed. But me going for a walk in the woods is going to cause.
Okay, so this one just doesn't pass the smell test. As someone who's lived in like Fireville, like I've had to literally throw stuff into my car and go, and like there's a good chance that like that's all I'll have left. And I never heard of no hiking. The closest thing to it is the coronavirus stuff, and I was thinking about that because they kind of tried that around here. They tried to like close some state parks, and people got mad about it. And the funniest thing was in my town. There was like a little city park that's not too far from me, and it has a playground, and they put like police tape on it. It was just like so pathetic. Like it was like scary and laughable. And then one week we went there, and we saw like these parents just ripping it up, tearing it up, just like after like a week and a half of this, they couldn't take it, and the kids were like, "Yay!" and they were playing in the park, and I was like, "Hope for humanity." Um, I don't know what's going on here. Yes, it would be dumb to be hiking where there is a fire danger, like where, like a fire is coming, like we did stuff like that where I lived. I mean, it's just common sense, like if like a fire's headed that way, get out, just go. Um, they can't like legally make you leave, but I mean, if you have any common sense, you don't want to stay where there's a fire danger. And the funny part was when it happened to me, I accidentally left my bathroom window open, and so embers can burn the screen and then go in the house. And so I was like at my friend's house. I called somebody and said, "Hey, I'm getting evacuated. I need a place to go." And he said, "Yeah, stay. In fact, I was going to invite you over for the weekend. I'm having a party." And so but like what happened was like nothing, because basically fire camp was across the street. All the firefighters were right there. So, but and no one in their right mind would have gone hiking during that time. Like that wouldn't have happened. But it's almost like they're saying like you can't hike because there's a fire over there or over there. And that I've never heard of before. That's a new one. So I don't know. Like it obviously makes sense that you should advise people strongly not to hike when there's a freaking fire like coming that way. But if they're saying like we don't have emergency services available because we're busy with this fire over there, I mean, I've never heard that before. It might be true. You know, they might say like, yeah, if something happens, sorry, we don't have anybody yet. It's going to be delayed. But let's be real. If you're out in the middle of the woods and something bad happens to you, how are they going to get? What are you going to do? Dial like 911 and they're just going to like fly out? I mean, come on, guys. Like, think with your head. Um, the reality is, when you go out deep into the woods, you're taking some kind of risk. You could get attacked by an animal. You could get killed by a freaking mountain lion. It's like, it's reality. I did a lot. I got away with murder, not murder, but I got away with a lot. I didn't like kill an animal or nothing. But I'm just saying, like, I went hiking so many times. I don't do it much anymore, but I wouldn't mind doing it again. But it's just kind of like where I live. It's not that close and everything. But when I lived like in like Fire Central, where fire danger was super high, and they'd have all these warnings, and they'd say absolutely no campfires, absolutely don't smoke on a trail, Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely everything. Um, yeah, because it's like a total tinderbox, and if you lit off a firework, you would get killed. I'm not kidding. The local townspeople would not put up with that. So, I've lived in that environment, and but this doesn't make any sense. No one ever said you can't hike. They're just like, it's common sense. Just like, don't smoke, just go for a walk, and you're on your own out there anyway. Because, like, yeah, if the authorities can help you, they will, but they may not be able to. They might be busy, or there's only some. There's literally a county in my state where you can't call the police and get a response, and they tell you carry a firearm. Um, we don't have the resources, like but there's hardly anybody that lives there anyway, and not much happens. So you know, it's not like as big a deal as it sounds, but the police just advise you to actually carry a firearm and just be ready. And it's an open carry. We're an open carry state outside of a few cities. So, there's that. And you need that for animals too, like bears and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's just a lack of common sense here in this. I really sense some kind of agenda. And I'm not one to criticize someone else's country because I don't really live in Canada. I try not to criticize another country that I've never even been to. But what I'm hearing sounds pathetic. It's just, and they're like the tweet says, they're weaseling around their reasoning. Like I saw all these tweets like, you're gonna, like, it's your fault because you're the one out in the forest starting the fires by walking around. And I'm like, what? The friction of your feet on the ground is gonna start a fire? Like no. Just tell people don't smoke and no campfires. Campfire is a criminal offense during those times. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, when it's dangerous and stuff. If they find somebody doing a campfire, like, no, what do they're a knucklehead if they're doing that. So, but yeah, walking around just because it's dry and there might be a forest fire like 20 miles away or something, or I guess kilometers, sorry, 50 kilometers away, or 25 kilometers away, let's say. Um, Sorry, I'm trying to speak Canadian. It just, I don't know. This doesn't. It, what is the agenda to just keep us all like? Because I'm in the house too much as it is. It's really bugging me. I want to get out more. Obviously today I'm not because it's like 102 degrees, but it's really hot and like just go outside for 2 seconds and you swelter. But yeah, I'd like to go out and hike some more. Go out to the river and stuff like that. It's fun. I've just been like doing a bunch of stuff, and just to hear this crap, uh, like especially for Canadians, because like this is the only time of year. It's not like a lot of these people can afford to like fly out to Florida in the middle of the winter. This is the only time of year like where they get to go outside and get to like go to the lake or whatever and get to enjoy summer things. Like I always notice it with my Canadian friends. Like they don't message me back nearly as much in the summer because they're out doing stuff. Because they're like, this is their time to do it. Whereas where I live, you have a little more leeway. You can almost go out in the winter and do stuff. It's not. It doesn't get that cold. It's hot right now. It's blazingly hot, but it's a dry heat, like Arizona, as they say. It's a joke. It's like the skeleton in a cactus. Like Arizona, it's a dry heat. That's what today is like. It's really bad. It really does feel like Arizona right now. But yeah, I don't know. I can't like. I don't want to criticize another country too much, but um, this just has this funny like WEF kind of like stay in your house agenda on people that are like used to like going outside, and this is their time when they can do it. It's almost like a horrible psyop. I don't know. I could be wrong, but where I'm from, this would only be the case if it was so dangerous that the authorities would say, stay out of that area, because it's dangerous. Like there's an imminent danger of a fire. And then if there's fire weather, they would say, campfires banned. Don't smoke outside, that kind of thing. And so that's all I got. The best I got.